Hello there, Tom Beal coming to you with a funny story here in a minute. But first, I just want to share that yesterday, I, as many, our worlds were rocked by hearing about the man that I look up to like Superman, Dan Kennedy. And Dan had drafted a letter from a hospice where apparently, after some issues with diabetes and some complications, he is on his final days, according to his letter. And it shocked me. I had no idea he was ill. I had definitely no idea he was on his, last few days. But when that shock came and the disbelief came, I had some memories pop back in my mind. And I hope, when my last days occur and people hear about that, they too will reflect on some good times. So that said, at this particular juncture, I have heard he is no longer with us. He has passed. At the same time, I've heard he is still around. So at this point, I know Dan is a horseman, and I am betting on the underdog. I'm betting on and hoping for and praying for, if he is still with us, a miraculous recovery, full and fast recovery with years left of vibrant and healthy life. And if in either way, if he's still with us or not with us, I am sending love and prayers to he, his family, and his loved ones. At this moment, I don't know the answer. Right? There's talk of him that he already passed. There's talk of him that he's still here with us. Either way, my heart was torn apart when I heard this. I just saw him a couple months ago here in South Florida at Delray Beach at the AWAI conference. Healthy as a horse, up there commanding and making the people laugh and learning as they're up there learning from one of the masters. And it totally took me by surprise. And it's a great reminder to us all. We never know when it's that last time we'll see somebody. So make each time count. So my heart goes out to Dan, his family, and I am still there hoping and praying for a miracle if he's still with us. And like I said, I don't know at this point. That said, there's a funny story. And, if anything, when my last day comes, I hope people will look back and reflect upon, wow, Tom, let me think about this time. Let me think about this time. Well, here's a funny story, and I'll set this framework. So this is years ago, probably 7 years ago or so. And I was working with Rich Sheffrin, president of Strategic Profits. And Rich has had a long-term relationship with Dan Kennedy. Rich first touched bases with Dan Kennedy, I think, in the early 1990s when Rich was doing his hypnosis. He had 100 plus hypnosis franchises open, and a lot of it was geared around direct mentorship that he had gotten from Dan Kennedy. So Rich and Dan are super tight up until today. And so I was fortunate enough to be working with Rich and got introduced to Dan and Dan's world. And I'd been a student of Dan's prior to that, but was able to meet him. And there was this high level mastermind occurring in Disney. Dan loves Disney. So a key lesson here is he's like, why are we having this at Disney? Because I love Disney. And key lesson for you, what do you love doing? And, one example he gave at that high level mastermind was I have a client who loves to climb ridiculously hard mountains. So if you have an email list, say, hey, I'm going to climb this mountain. If you love climbing and would like to join along, there's a fee attached to it. But if you meet the certain criteria, and by the way, the criteria are, you have to be super cool. You have to be someone that you'd want to chill and hang out with. Here's the process to see if you can come with me on this trip. So we're at Epcot. We're learning all day. Rich gave a tremendous presentation, and each of the probably 20 or so high-level clients there got an opportunity to share some great stuff. And then afterwards, we had dinner. And myself and Linda Englander, also at Strategic Profits, was there. And for some reason, Rich couldn't make it. So my fiance, Wanda, was with me. And I say, hey, Rich, is it all right if I bring Wanda in your place? He's like, yeah, sure, absolutely. So Wanda's there. Now, picture this. Dan has spent all day in a room with his high-level clients. And now it's me and supposed to be Rich. And now it's me and Wanda. So this picture here is that's the preface of the story. And this picture here is him coming over and saying, I recognize everybody, but who's this? I said, oh, this is Rich Sheffrin. I said, Rich, unfortunately, wasn't able to make it here, but Wanda is filling in for him. He's like, hey, I've known Rich for a long time. I love the guy, super smart dude, but this is an upgrade. Anytime you can replace Rich, you're totally welcome. So that was the funny story and the introduction of Dan to Wanda. And the table got a laugh. And, Dan's persona is that old, crotchety, mean old man. But as you saw with his letter from his deathbed in a hospice, like whoa, what that just shows his commitment and dedication and going above and beyond the call of duty, and his care and actual love for his clients, and not just their results, but for the betterment of every aspect of their life. Because yes, he's known for marketing, but he has many other courses and books and programs that go way deeper in all sorts of different things, from productivity to the wealth mindset, a whole bunch of different areas. But that's one of many funny stories with Dan. And I thought that would be fun to share. So, it's always at these times that it's a reminder to us all of how brief this journey is, and how none of us get out of this life alive. And none of us know when that last day is. None of us know when that last week, month, year is. That's the rub of this journey. Like I said, I just saw him a couple months ago speaking, commanding the whole room's attention at AWI in Delray Beach. And it was a total shock to hear the news yesterday. But I thought this story would give a peek into the big teddy bear. He literally is a loving, caring, huge-hearted man who loved what he did, was amazing at what he did and does, and his teachings will last on for generations to come through his books, through his courses, and him being the teacher of teachers. The people he's taught, whether someone has learned directly from him or not. If they're following someone in this marketing world, to include personal development, anybody who's ever studied or come across his material, or has learned from any type of guru in the marketing world, chances are good they're sharing some of Dan's courses and lessons. And his stuff will continue on through his books, through his courses, that will impact generations to come. And him being a teacher of the teachers will teach people, and those teachers they taught will teach people, etc. It has left a dent in the universe and will continue to do so for generations to come. So, like I said, at this point, I am not even certain if he is still with us, alive, or if he has passed. There is talks of both. And as I said, until I read an obituary. Well, here's another funny story, and this one's not a personal interaction with me and he, but it's from studying one of his courses, and it's a course on the wealth mindset. And in the very beginning, he's talking about Napoleon Hill, and Napoleon Hill's one of Napoleon's student turned into be a huge success in the insurance industry, W. Clement Stone. And when news spread of W. Clement Stone passing, at like over 100 years old, I think, he's like, people showed up to that funeral just to make sure he was dead. Right. So it's a different context, but I am betting on the underdog. And until I hear for certain that he's passed, I'm praying and hoping for a miracle. And if he already is passed, and either way, I send love to his family, his loved ones, and his raving fans from around the world. It was a shock to us all. And I am forever grateful and thankful for the teachings of Dan, for getting to see the big teddy bear behind the persona of the mean old crotchety Dan. But the dude is incredible, amazing, and like a stand-up comic. If you ever met him and chatted with him live, he's just hysterical while he's sharing nuggets of wisdom that can transform your business results and your life results. Anyhow, I thought this story was fun to share. And it is with a heavy heart and sadness that I hear of the illness and him being in the hospice and the uncertainty of if he's still with us or not. But let this be a lesson, a multifold lesson. One, his legacy will continue because he took the action to write the books. He took the action to create the courses. He took the action to conduct live events. He took the action to work one-on-one with high-level clients. And through that, his legacy will continue. No matter if he's still with us or stays with us for a week, a month, a year, or longer, his legacy will continue, and even if he's already passed. So that's a quick reminder. And another reminder is, no matter who we are, none of us get out of here alive. So put some urgency to what you do, and gain clarity on what is yours to do. put the plan in place and take the proper actions to make it happen. Because one day, each of us has that last day. The rub is we don't know when that is. So my saying is, make today great. Every day, make today great. That's my wish for you. All right, hope this was helpful. Hope I put a smile on your face and shared a couple lessons along the way. Make today great. I will talk with you soon.